Hi everybody, how are you? I hope you are well. Yes, how I overcame the fear of dying, and it was really important. And it also gave me an opportunity to start living my life. It didn't happen overnight, it was a process, but I do want to share it. First of all, I don't know who needs to hear this, or maybe I just need to hear myself just explain it to myself one more time, but I don't think so because I have my faith and I have my belief. Now, having said that, it's different for everybody. This is the thing. What I believe and what I have, where I put my faith might not be where you put yours, but that's not what it's about. What it's about, if you have something and you believe it and it's something you have faith in, then it's right. And it'll give you, or should give you, peace and calm. It should actually, if I could explain it, it's like for years and years and years in my life, it was like I was stuck in this room, like just a room. And everything just happened in that room over and over and over again. And yet there was this beautiful threshold there. And it just went to many, many different opportunities and rooms and places to go. But I was always so afraid. And so I just wouldn't step over it. I held myself back from success. I held myself back from adventures. I held myself back from doing things that were, a little bit edgy or a little bit scary because maybe I could get hurt. Maybe I could die. And that's a horrible place to have to live, in the same place of fear every single day. So I want to talk about it a little bit. But before I go there, my regular subscribers, hi. I hope you're doing well. We're doing okay. We're only on an okay. We've had probably the worst 4 days that we've had, period, that we've had. And so I'll get into that a little bit more. And but I appreciate your support and thank you for being here. And I did put a community post out. Thank you for those of you that just said, went and watched some of my other videos, just kind of hold my channel up while I'm dealing with the things that we need to deal with. If you're new to my channel and you're just checking me out, my name is Liedy. I'm 75. I live just outside of Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. And welcome, and I hope you decide to stay. Thank you. Okay, well, Liedy, how on earth? Well, it's been a horrible 3 days. Bill is just not been himself, and he had 2 blood transfusions on Saturday, including a bag of platelets. He was so down. It was critical. It was exactly where he was at when he was admitted to the hospital back in December. So he's starting to feel a little bit better, but there's some really big changes happening. And so we're just kind of holding on to things, and we're both just figuring out that we're now going through, we're going through stuff right now that we weren't really prepared for. You can never prepare for these things. It's going to be different for everybody. And but I wanted to talk about dying. I know, how could you possibly talk about dying when your husband's so sick? Well, you know that I'm always looking for a nugget. I'm always looking for something. And I thought I'm going to talk about this because for years and years I just didn't live. And I am so grateful that I have learned about that. What is really difficult here for me, and it's going to be different for everybody, is that I don't want to lose the physical part of my husband. I want to keep him here. I need his physical being to be here so we can do things and hold each other and love each other. But I know the loving part will always do. But the physical part, that's the part that dies of all of us. every single one of us, but we all have a soul. We all have a soul that lives on forever. Now, okay, so I want to be very respectful in all of this because I think it's really important that we all understand and are entitled to our own beliefs and what we have faith in. That is so important because what I believe and where I put my faith may not be where any of you put it, or the other way around. But as your friend, I can say, I'm so glad that you have something that you believe in and that you have faith in something. Because when that erases the fear of dying, if that erases the fear of that the physical being, the person that we love so much, won't be here for us to touch, but the soul lives on forever. Now, whether you have, I believe in, you know, some call it, some say God. I believe in the collective consciousness of the universe that is beautiful, and this is where all our souls come together at some point. I just had to put my glasses on. Some, you know, may call it heaven. It doesn't really matter what the interpretation is, as long as it's a place that gives you peace. It brings you to a place in your life where you go, I am not afraid of dying, that you somehow put it together, and that you have belief and faith that the soul lives on for eternity. And I truly, truly believe that. But like I say, to let go of the physical part, that is the really hard part. That's the part that I know when the time comes, that's what I'm going to be grieving, is the loss of the physical person that I love. But I know we will be connected forever. It's like I say to Bill, we say we don't want our love affair to ever end, and it won't. It won't. We have each other. We will always have each other, but we're not always going to be in the same place physically. But once the physical part ends for me, then our souls can live on till eternity, which gives me peace. But I now just want to back up a little bit on all of that. You go, how can you talk about it like that? Well, I'm really hoping that what talking about it makes you think a little bit. Back in and I've talked about this before on one of my videos way back there, is when my dad passed away in 1994. I have very strained and difficult relationships with my immediate family. Still do somewhat, whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I just love them from where they are. But just going back, and my dad passed away. It was really difficult to lose him. I remember how sad I was to lose him, and I mean, he was the one person I could connect to, but it was always very, very secretive that that my dad did anything for me. The rest of the family couldn't know about it. Anyway, that's a long story. Maybe we might get there yet, because I'm telling all my stories now. But anyway, my dad had passed away, and I remember it was maybe about 2 or 3 days after my dad's service, I was laying upstairs in bed. I was just laying on top of the blankets. I wasn't in bed. I was just resting. I was feeling really sad. And all of a sudden, I heard the doorbell ring. And I went, oh. And we have beautiful bedroom. Doors overlook the golf course. It was beautiful. And to me, the experience was the doorbell rang. I jumped up. I ran down the stairs, and I swung the door open. And there was my dad standing in front of me, completely healthy, totally like the man that you'd have met, you know, like before he got sick. And he was standing there in his gray pants, baby bluish shirt, like a nice blue, not baby blue, but a really nice blue shirt, his navy blue jacket with, I think he was wearing the one with the gold buttons on it, and my Canada Post blue tie, because I used to work for Canada Post, and that was part of our, they always gave us ties and uniforms. I never wore the tie, so I give them to my dad. And he was standing there, and I went, Dad, and he said, honey, I just wanted to come and tell you that everything's okay. Everything is fine. Don't worry. I'm good, and you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Okay? I just wanted you to know that. That was it. And to me, that was like really, that was, I don't know, like I'm thinking, I dreamt it. It was a vision that he came and brought to me. Did I really run down those stairs? Do you know what? Today, I could not tell you which one of those things had actually happened. But I know one thing for sure. My dad came to me to tell me he was okay wherever he was. He was fine. He was fine. Don't worry. Everything is fine. I know. And I've hung on to that and started exploring more about, you know, our physical beings versus our souls. And I found myself in a place today that I'm very comfortable with. Now, I can't speak for Bill, but Bill had an experience himself. And he, you know, definitely shared it with myself and the kids. But it's not up to me to share it with you, because I don't think that would be fair. If he ever feels that he wants to at some point, I'd love for him to do so. But we both, it turned us both around. It opened our eyes, it opened our hearts, and it opened our souls to look a little bit further into where one might find comfort and faith and belief. And also, once you have that, you start to live. You really start to live. I'm probably going through one of the saddest times in my life. But I love the fact that we know that in all of this, it's a journey that we're walking. We're each going to have to walk our individual personal journeys while we're here on earth. My journey is not going to be like anybody else's, and his is not either. I'm going to be here as, you know, as supportive and be as strong as I can be. And, you know, I'm always going to look for a little nugget. And the nugget right now is, thank goodness I have faith. Thank goodness I have belief. I just wish I could find something in that I'm going to lose my partner in the physical sense. That, I don't know where I go with that yet, because I'm not ready to do that. But I know it's not the end. I know it's going to be the end of a physical relationship that we have. But I know that we have an eternal one ahead of us for infinity. And so I think it's important that if you are fearing dying, if you even aging, that you really, really, really stop and think about how you can overcome that, how you know, find something. I don't know. I mean, you know, I'm not into religion. I don't follow religions anymore. I used to at one time in my life. That was not a good place for me. But I love that I have, you can call him God in my life. You can call it collective consciousness of the universe. You can call him Jehovah. You can call him Buddha. Call him whatever you want. If it brings you peace and it gets you up every morning to live your life to the fullest. And listen, even if you're an atheist, that's okay too. If that's where you are, if you're good with that, if you wake up in the morning and go, it is what it is, I can live with it, it's going to give you an opportunity to live. So what I'm grateful for, even with everything that's going on, even with the really, really difficult days that we've had, I'm not afraid to live. And Bill is also grabbing whatever he can in order to live right now as we are in the physical sense. I know, why am I talking about this? Well, first of all, I'm not AI, so I love it when we can hear these things from each other in real time, from our hearts, from a human, and it's not to change anybody's mind. I'm just hoping that if you are afraid, if you are living in fear, that it'll just make you stop and think about it, and maybe get you to stop and look for something. So when that time comes, that each day is still your little nugget, that each day is, you know, we can transition anytime. It's like I say, I know there's a heaven, however you want to describe it or what it is. You know, I don't think we're all going to live on a cloud or anything like that. Anyway, just remember, there is no future in our past. So bring all the wonderful memories, all the really hard lessons, they're the best, and dream and imagine and live for the day.